Welcome to Test Prep Central. We are working on Calculator Workshop 4 Table Features. In example 1, we're going to complete the table using the function. So let's begin by typing the function into our grapher. Type y equals negative 1.2 x plus 1024. Type the function, after you've typed the function into the grapher, let's adjust the table setup. So type second window. And here we're going to start at 100 because that was the first number in the table. And delta table is what we count by. So we're going to count by 100 because the numbers in the table are 100 units apart. Okay. Now we're going to go to the table, second graph. And there is the table. And you'll notice it starts at 100. So you can go ahead and write down the first 5 numbers in this Y1 list to complete the table. All right, let's look at example number 2. Which function best fits these data? So we're going to go to the function grapher, and we're going to type in all 4 of these answer choices. So I'm going to first clear the first answer choice, clear to get rid of that equation, and then type in the new one, 48x plus 34. Arrow down to get to y2 and type in the function. And for cubed, in case you didn't know it, math 3 is cubed. So if you've never tried that, you might want to try it. Plus 2x plus 30. Arrow down to y3. Oops, I just arrowed way down. Let's see if I can get back up to y3. All right, in y3, we're going to put h of x. So that would be 9x squared minus 6x minus 14. All right, arrow down. We'll go to y4 to type answer choice D. So that's 30 multiplied by 1.4. And then notice I'm closing parentheses and then raised to the power of x. So use the up arrow x to put an exponent. All right, after you've done that, we're going to go back to our table setup and do something different. Let's start with second window, starting at 0. We want to count by ones, although you don't really have to change that because this will take care of that. I want you to go down to independent and choose ask and press enter. Well, what this will do is when you go into your table now, second graph, you will have a blank table and you will have your function names y1 through y4 displayed across the top. Now what we're going to do is actually type in the x values that were in the table. So at the top there, or in your example 1 on the first line there, just look at that table to get these values. So negative 2, enter. 1, enter. 5, enter. 6. And you'll notice that as I'm putting these in, that the y values are appearing in each of the columns for each of the respective functions. So looking back at the original table, you'll notice that the second column, y2, has exactly the same values that were in the original table. So that means answer choice B is the correct answer. Let's move on to example 3. Which are the zeros of this function? So we see problems like this on standardized tests. There's actually 4 or 5 answer choices, and then more than one of these is correct. So that's usually what you see if you're taking like an Algebra 1 state test. They'll have multiple selection. So I'm going to clear my memory. Second plus 7, 1. 2, oops, I'm in the wrong spot. Let's go back to the home screen. Second plus 7, 1, 2, and I've got all those equations out from that previous problem. So I'm going to go to the y equals and just type in this one function. So 2x squared plus 4x minus 7. Okay, finally, let's go turn on ask. So second window, go down to independent, go to the right to ask and enter to turn on ask. Now if we go to the table, second graph. Now I don't have to hit delete because I cleared my memory, but if you did not clear your memory, you can hit delete several times and that will clear out the data values that are already in the window. So now we're going to go ahead and type in our answer choices. So the first answer choice was -1 plus 3 divided by 2 times square root of 2. So we're going to do second square 2 and then enter. And you'll see that the output was 0. So that makes that a 0 for the function. So answer choice A is correct. And then we're going to type answer choice B, which is -1 plus 3 divided by 2, square root of 2, and enter. This is also a 0. Oh, I didn't put the negative, did I? Let's try that again. So -1 minus 3 divided by 2 times the square root of 2. There we go. That's a different answer. That would be answer choice B. So answer choice A and B both returned a value of 0. So for C, you probably know none of these are going to work, but I want to type them anyway. So I'm going to type 1 plus 3 divided by 2 times the square root of 2. Enter. And of course, that's not a 0. That's just a function value of 24 something. So, all right, let's move on to D. 1 minus 3 divided by 2. If you're on the newer calculators, you can use alpha y equals enter. If you're on the older calculator, that is not available. So that's why I'm doing it like in the older calculators. But either way, you'll be able to tell what the zeros are. If you, they're not going to return square roots in the table, even on the newer calculators. So I don't know that alpha y equals does much for you anyway. So plus square root 2. All right, so the only zeros were the first two. I typed the first one twice by accident, as you can see, but the correct answer choices are A and B. So let's move on to example 4. Create a table and a graph for the function using an x scale of 10 over a domain of 0 to 100. So let's go back to our grapher, and I'm going to go ahead and clear this equation and type in the new one, 200 multiplied by 1.04 raised to the x power. Okay, so the step 1 is I'm going to go adjust the table set to start at 0 and count by tens. So let's go to second window and start at 0. She'll go down to delta table and we'll put a 10 there, and that's our scale basically in our table. I do want my independent to be auto again, so highlight auto and press enter to turn that back on. Now type mode, and if you look down here in the middle, it says full horizontal graph table. We're going to look at graph table, so go over to graph table and press enter to turn that on. Now it says to use a window with the given domain. So for window, we're going to go from 0 to 100. And we're going to count by tens. All right, and then for our Y min, Y max, we're not going to do that. We're going to type zoom 0, and that will fit the function to these, to that domain. You won't have to set it, and it will give you an output that includes both a graph and a table. So that's really a neat feature to be able to look at both at the same time. You may notice the trace feature. If you hit trace, it'll make your table go with the number that you're on. So the only problem with that, of course, is it kind of messed up what you had in your table. So just beware. But it will start counting through your table wherever you hit trace. So you can do trace, and let's say I want to go to 10, or let's go to 10. Yeah, that'll work. It'll show you the value at 10. Let's go to 20. And again, you can see it's messing up that table. 25. And so on. Okay? All right, let's move on. If you've not already read your helpful hints, be sure to do so. Don't forget you can clear your memory, 2nd plus 712. If you have quite a few equations typed in your y equals, you can get rid of them all at once. And don't forget, the best way to learn is practice. So be sure to practice, practice, practice. You have 4 exercises to do. So until we meet again, be sure to practice.